Yo yo, it's Hoodyhooo, and this is the Diamond section of my Rocket League progression guide. This guide is focused towards ranked solo queue. It's very general, and of course it's just my opinion. If you're struggling at your rank, hopefully this guide can give you an idea of what your focus should be around your rank. This guide is structured the same at each level. The first part will identify mechanics and skills you should be focusing on at this level. I have included training recommendations to improve these skills. The second part will consist of strategy and focus points, as well as some typical bad habits at this rank. Alright, let's get into it. We are getting fairly high on the ranked ladder, and the game has now become more air-oriented and quite a bit quicker in pace, which means we are going to have to pay more attention to mechanics. If you don't already, you need to start spending some time in free play, practicing mechanics. Boomer Ball is something I've recommended at each level, but now at Diamond, it's more important than any of the previous ranks. First mechanic we look at is difficult or advanced rebound shots. In Diamond, players start hitting harder clears and booming the ball off the backboard, so there are more opportunities to score from these passes. To improve on these shots, you will need to continue to improve your aerial car control. I quickly want to recommend Kevpert's aerial car control and advanced aerial car control videos. There's loads of information on Kevpert's channel, so I will link it below. I've also included Rebound Shots training pack created by Wonder. Next up we have air dribbles. Air dribbles can be used offensively and defensively. Something you will see quite a bit in high level play is defensive air dribbles, to take the ball from the defensive third to midfield or even the offensive third. This is a great tool to use defensively because you buy your teammates time to recover or grab boost. You also force the opponents to use boost to challenge, and lastly, the opponent's challenge is almost always a 50-50, as opposed to a booming clear, which just gives the opponent's possession. You can use air dribbles offensively as well. They're great for passing or scoring. Air dribbles can be started from the ground, walls, or even the ceiling. I have included 2 different training packs to work on these. One is specifically setups beginning on the wall, created by Apahchhii, and the other is a mix of wall and ground setups created by JakeRL. The last mechanic I recommend is Wavedashing, an incredibly useful mechanic for recovery and all-around speed of play. Wavedashing is using your dodge when you're close to the ground so that your car dodges into the ground. This eliminates the animation of a full rotation of your car and allows you to immediately dodge again for the quickest acceleration possible. Wavedashing is relatively easy to learn and immeasurably valuable. You can wave dash onto and off of walls. You can wave dash when low on boost to gain momentum quickly. Players wave dash out of bumps is a mechanic that you can manipulate to be useful in many situations. To begin, I recommend just doing this while stationary. You will want to lightly press your jump button so the car does a low jump and then tilt your car backwards. When your car is close to the ground, you will want to dodge forward so that your car slaps into the ground. This can be done in all dodge directions. Here are a few examples of it being done with side dodges, as well as forwards and even backwards. When I was learning to wave dash, I practiced by jumping from low on the wall, air rolling, and dodging onto the ground. This will get you comfortable learning what angle your car needs to be when dodging into the ground. When you get relatively comfortable with this, go ahead and start working it into Boomer Ball along with air dribbles and some rebound shots. Something that I haven't mentioned until now is that as the guide progresses, you should continue to practice the mechanics and skills mentioned in the previous rank guides. So you should continue working on flicks as we mentioned in gold, or backboard clears as we mentioned in platinum, while also incorporating the mechanics we covered in this diamond section of the guide. Boomer Ball is absolutely the best way to practice working on all of these mechanics. In Diamond, our strategy and focus points section is also going to become a bit more detailed. As you move up the ranked ladder, the mechanics need to improve, but so does the mental side of the game. Your opponents are also improving mechanically and mentally, and you need to match that. Up first we have possession, something that I'm not sure many players are conscious of. Many players play the game with one intention, and that's hit the ball forwards or towards the goal. This isn't the best strategy for success. Rocket League is very similar to hockey, basketball, soccer. In all these sports, you find more success scoring when you and your team are organized and in threatening positions while putting your opponents in disorganized positions. This can be done in many ways. Maintaining a semi-threatening offensive push where you Continuously toss passes off the backboard or infield while stealing the opponent's boost will eventually stretch the opponents and lead them in tough situations. This could last for 10 seconds, or it could be a minute and 10 seconds. The point is that you have possession, even if you aren't constantly threatening a goal. Let's move on to 50-50s and dunks. Many players refer to these scenarios as RNG or random, and that could not be more incorrect. You will need to focus on the position of the opponent relative to you and the ball, and then play the ball accordingly. Keep in mind that the wheels of your car are great for absorbing power from challenges. You can also use your dodge strategically to manipulate the outcome of the 50-50. These two specific plays are important because it requires at least one opponent to challenge, which will remove them from the play for at least the following few seconds. This can result in a numbers advantage for your team and lead to a scoring opportunity. Third up, we have recovery-focused play. What I mean is that you want to be sure the challenges, shots, clears, passes, or any play in general that you go for does not put you way out of position or rotation and result in your team being left with a numbers disadvantage. There will be times you are forced to go for high-risk plays, but you want to avoid those situations as much as possible. These last 2 points can be covered together. We have team play and clearing with intention. With mechanics improving, it is going to become near impossible to hard carry or do everything yourself. This approach to the game will limit you, and it's just a poor approach to a team-oriented game. When on offense, don't be afraid to look for your teammates for passes rather than shooting on a protected net. If you find yourself ahead of the play and the ball is in your teammates' control, go for a bump or a demo. When on defense, make clears towards teammates. Using passes to push out of the defensive third is far more effective than just booming a clear away, which typically results in a possession turnover. Lastly, we are going to cover bad habits. Many of these are just the opposite of the strategies to focus on, but we will cover them anyways. First, we have rushing touches or giving away possession. If you have time and space, use it. Not trusting teammates. This is the number one cause of double commits, which is probably the most common cause of forfeiting goals. Many times players will see a teammate make one mistake and immediately write them off as trash and toss out all trust. Do not do this. You need to realize that you make mistakes as well, and that it is just part of the game. You will find overall better success if you choose to trust your teammates. Poorly timed, flashy play is another point that is just the opposite of recovery-focused play. As you move up in ranked, you will sometimes have to use advanced or flashy mechanics, but you want to use them intelligently. Make sure your team is in good position to cover up if you do not end up capitalizing with your advanced mechanic. These last 3 points are points that I cover in each video. They are ball chasing, boost over ball, and raging. These are not rank specific and are extremely common in Rocket League players. Ball chasing refers to only paying attention to the ball while ignoring all other factors like teammates' positioning, boost amounts, and the situation you are in. The game is more complex than just hit the ball. If you want to continue to improve and rank up, you will have to realize that. Boost over ball refers to the prioritization of grabbing boost over the immediate play. Sometimes you will just have to function on low boost. Lastly, we have raging. I know it's difficult. I'm guilty of it, but I have to recommend avoiding it because if you can avoid it, you will find more success. Just realize when you are getting frustrated and do what you can to avoid that. Maybe play a different game mode or even a different game. Some people will just have to step away from the game, and that's okay too. Better to do that than keep playing while tilted and start making poor decisions and end up losing game after game. Alright, let's quickly recap. For mechanics and skills, we cover difficult or advanced rebound shots, air dribbles, and wave dashing. For strategies and focus points, we have possession, 50-50s and dunks, recovery-focused play, utilizing team play, and clearing with intention. And lastly, for bad habits, we looked at rushing touches, not trusting teammates, poorly timed flashy play, ball chasing, boost over ball, and raging. And that's it for the diamond section of my Rocket League progression guide. Hopefully you learned something that will help you on your climb. Good luck and thank you for watching.